This is a stalker. That's light activity. That's a stalker. And they're subject to martial law. This is the P.O.C. This is the entity that is indeed gang stalking with the people of the state. And this is a stalker that's a demon that's making a turn when she is monitoring. That's a demon that's monitoring on my device and makes a turn like the coward, the vagina monitor, the lesbian she is, because she doesn't want to be captured on video. And I don't need her face. I want to be clear. This is the documentation that's establishing the necessity of martial law. Okay, see, this is what the entity was doing at 4th Street and Euclid Avenue, stalking by helicopter, and all those license plates. They're being federally prosecuted while they are stalking as a mentally ill population. This is relevant to what is, again, the judicial notice. This is the specific environment. That's the fake moon. This is the targeting by the U.S. military that's doing the same thing while they're engaging in psychopathic pacing in commercial planes, where the entities engage in that in the specific environment in concert with the people of the state. This is that mentally ill shared pattern, and the entities engage in this while they are, again, very much suicidal. And this is the entity that is posing a threat to themselves and the public, all right? The entities engaging in this under what is the fake sun during the day. This is where the fake sun rose, and this is where the fake moon is, where the surveillance is underway by the entity. This is people. This is the entity that is subject to federal prison. Like I stated, Myra and Mickey are employees at the OVITT Family Community Library engaged in years of surveillance and kidnapping while this criminal stalking is underway, and they're going to federal prison based on the body of evidence that they are targeting in the way in which the entity is engaged in 24-hour targeting. This is P.O.C. All right, this is psychopathic behavior, and this is the entity that is pacing in a helicopter as opposed to pacing multiple planes, as I'm documenting, under the specific environment circumstances of a fake sun of engineer light. This is P.O.C. This is what the entity is doing with Delta Airlines, with Southwest Airlines, American Airlines, Amazon Prime Air, FedEx, UPS, doing so with Frontier Airlines, doing so with United Airlines, or the entity that's providing the instrumentalities of interstate commerce. Okay? This is the prosecution for treason. And that is a gang stalker that's crossing path in concert with the entity, and this is a gang stalker at the same apartment complex. It's P.O.C. This is the entity that's providing evidence. They're going straight to prison, they being the people of the state. So this is the entity that's providing evidence. It's going on the internet, and these are the mentally ill that are being locked down with martial law, and they are also going to be federally prosecuted with regard to involuntary commitments, including the demons that are in the helicopters. And that's what was sitting next to me, and they're hostile vagina monitors that are obsessed with me, and they're also engaging in what is stalking. And they're engaging in that also as a community. The overweight African-American female that was in the engineer light under the fake sunrise this morning was gang stalking with the U.S. military, and this is the same apartment complex. They will not be receiving it. They're being prosecuted for terrorism, and they are engaging in mentally ill conduct of gang stalking, and they're the demon possessed that do so. This is the P.O.C. This is mental illness while you're looking at that engagement in that inhumane and unconstitutional and criminal conduct, which is an egregious sex offense. This is a demon possessed person. This is the mental illness of those that are stalking in the library under the fake sun like nothing is happening. They're going to be committed. This is the entity that's engaging in that P.O.C. and stalking by helicopter is having the population of the P.O.C. The population of the who are the people of the state, so isolated with regard to martial law and subject to that involuntary commitment status. And that's for the protection of the public. This is the entity that's levying war while stalking by helicopter, and they're doing so based on what is hostility. The couple that is engaged in, as I document, and I put the camera in their face and I refer to them as what they are, a crackhead, a lesbian, obsessed with me, stalking. That's exactly what they are. That's exactly what they are. This is the P.O.C. The entity is hostile. The entity is harassing because they are engaged in criminal conduct. And while they continuously engage in that, they show the threat that they are to the public. That's exactly what they are. And they are going to prison. They are being committed. And they provide the evidence that is supporting that. Now, with relevance to what is the judicial notice, the judicially noticed facts is that the entity has the fake sun and the fake moon in the same position, and that is not the natural environment. And this is where the entity is harassing in the ways in which I'm documenting, and the entity is going to be federally prosecuted, and all of the legal implications regarding providing commercial planes while this pattern of conduct is underway, while you're maintaining a business, those companies are being federally prosecuted. They are sharing in this psychopathic pattern of conduct maliciously and knowingly. criminally. And whether or not they acknowledge the ongoing terrorism that's being documented, I don't need the CEO to acknowledge it. I'm going to prosecute the CEO for criminal charges. This is POC. It is currently 10:19 p.m. This is the inability of the mentally ill to avoid a federal prosecution. Based on that mental illness that I have proven with tangible evidence, you are witnessing the necessity of martial law and watching the backfire of the mentally ill as they prosecute themselves based on the obsession with me. This is the pattern of conduct. This is the OVITT Family Community Library, where the entity has the fake sun rising and setting, and where the fake moon is over me. And this is where the obsessed sex offenders are engaged in psychopathic pacing, both in commercial planes and in helicopters. This is POC.